guys, welcome to my channel, and as you all know, this is the first video of this channel, so let me tell you what kind of videos you're going to get here. So to begin with, we all know Flow is a very powerful tool in Salesforce. So I thought why not just begin this channel with the series of flows that will be helpful for you all. So here I am with the Flow series for you all. This is for beginners also. So if you have just basic knowledge of flows, then also this series is helpful for you. I'll try to describe every element in detail as much as I can, and I'll put separate examples of every element. So if you can search in future for a particular element, you can find the video very easily. Now without any further ado, let's dive straight into the video. But before that, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also press the bell icon so every time I upload a video, you get notified. Now without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so that is the home screen of your org. Now we have to search for flows. So we'll type flow in the quick find box. Let's select flows. Now what you'll see is list of flows that you have already created. Now if you want to create a new flow, we'll click on new flow button. Now what you'll see is Flow Builder, your canvas, your main canvas where you'll drag and drop your elements and you'll create your flow. But before that, it will ask you what kind of flow you want to create. So basically there are two types of flows, screen flow and auto launch flow, and it has its subtypes also. But let's start with a simple screen flow. So screen flow is already selected and we'll click on next. Now it will ask you how do you want to start building. So this is important. Basically there are two types, like two designs or two performers in which you can create your flow. First is freeform. As you can see, it is like here and there, the lines are here and there, and in auto layout it is more organized. So that is it. Freeform is a lot of fun because basically in freeform you can drag and drop your elements the way you want, you can connect them the way you want. So basically you're designing your custom layout. But in auto layout, that is more organized, that is more professional, that is more practical because the design is already there. You just need to add your elements. So if you want to like have fun with flows or you're just doing examples, you can try freeform. But in practical scenarios, if you're working with your organization or with another developer, another client, so you should use auto layout flow format because auto layout is more organized. If the other developer is also working on the same flow, he or she will see the flow format or the flow design. It will be easier for them to understand in the auto layout that what elements are put where, and it will be easier for them to develop another elements or drag and drop another elements. So auto layout is for professional work, it is best. But let's start with freeform because we are having fun, right? So we'll click on freeform and you will see a blank screen. This is your canvas. You can drag and drop your elements, drag and drop your logics and create your flow. Okay. Now on the left side, you'll see toolbox. So in toolbox, there are two elements. One is element and one is manager. Let's talk about elements. Elements has three types: interaction, logic and data. Let's go one by one and I'll introduce them to you. First is interaction. So in simple words, if I'm talking with you, if you're talking with me or you're replying to my conversation, we are basically interacting with each other. So same as if we want to interact with someone or with a third party from our flow, we'll use interaction. So in our case, someone will be the third party, client, supplier, customer, anyone. So if you want to interact with them, if you want to get data or get information with them, we'll use interactions. Okay. Now interaction has three elements. First is screen, then action, then subflow. Let's talk about screen. So as I told you, interaction is used for getting information and showing them something, like displaying them. So screen is for that. If you want to, like, if you want the user to fill the feedback form for you or the sign up form for you, right? So you will add a screen element, you will add input fields in that, and you will give it to user like fill the form for me, right? So if you want to ask information from the user, we'll use a screen element. Another example for screen will be if like just take this example only. If the user has filled the feedback form, then what? Then we want to show them a success message, right? So if you want to display a message, it can be a success message or a normal text or an error message. We can also use screens. Okay. Now let's go to second, which is action. Let's take a previous example again. If the user has filled the feedback form and they have clicked on submit button, then I want to send them a sweet email like thanks for your feedback or we'll get back to you, kind of that. So for sending email, we can use action. So we can drag and drop action element and we can do the coding that on the submit button, the action element should call, right? So action is just that. Now let's talk about subflows. So subflow is basically calling another flow from this org to this flow. So if we want to call another flow's logic to this flow, we'll use subflow. I'll get back to it later, of course, with an example. Now that is it for interaction. Let's go to logic. So logic, basically, if you're watching this video, if you're learning flow with me, so I'm just assuming you have a basic knowledge of JavaScript and functionality. So logic is just that. Let's go deep into it. First is assignment. So for assignment, let's go back in the day where we used to get assignments from our teachers in school that this is your summer holiday assignment and this is your winter holiday assignment. So they were basically assigning work to us, right? So like if you want to assign something to someone else, we'll use assignment. In programming language, if I'll say, just suppose there are two variables, variable A and variable B. If we want to add variable B's value to variable A, we'll use assignments, okay? Now the next is decision. So basically decision is simple if else statement that we have already created in our coding previously in our programming life, okay? So let's take the previous example again. If the user has filled the feedback form and we have added the action to it, right? Do you remember? So we have added action to it that we should send an email to the user that thanks for your feedback. But what if the user have not inserted any email address? He has left the field blank. So what should we do? The action will show the error that email address is blank. So for that, we can use decision. What we can add in decision is that if the email address field is not blank, then set an action. If the email address field is blank, then do this, right? So for that, we can use decisions. Now third is loop. Loop is just basically simple classic loop that we already know how to create, but just the example of it will be like what we can do with loop in our coding, we can do with loop here. Just the difference will be we don't have to write any line of code for that, and that is fun, right? So that's that. Now we have a collection sort. So collection sort was not there before. Collection sort is added in the summer 21 release and it is a great addition actually. So collection sort is basically if you see in data, we have get records. So get record is for getting records from your object. But if you want to like sort those records, like refine those records more, then you can use collection sort. Okay, I'll add in different example for it for sure. So let's keep it that way. Now logic is finished. Let's go to data. So for data, I'll say whatever you can do with DML operations, almost everything you can do with data. In data, you can see we can create record in our object, we can update the existing record of our object, we can of course get records from our object, and we can delete record. So that's it. I hope I have explained every element very well and you guys can understand what are these used for, what is interaction, what is logic, what is data, when to use what. So that was the main motto of this video. Now from next videos of this series, we'll use examples of different elements, and I'll make sure I'll keep every element's video separate. So in future, if you'll search for any element or if you're referring to another developer or your friend, they can find it easily, right? So from next video of the series, we'll cover every element one by one. I'll show you different examples, from simple examples to complicated examples of this flow. Okay, so that's it for that. And also, if you'll see on top right corner, you can see you can save the flow, you can activate the flow, you can debug the flow to check if there's any error, you can run the flow, and this is what I'll talk about later. This is not for this video. So I'll see you super soon in my next video of this series. Till then, bye bye, take care and keep learning.